Okay, you are finding me in a new moment. I love being in a new moment. And the new moment for me at this very second that you're talking to me is that I am not only recording my voice, I am recording a video of me recording my voice. I have never done that before. I have actually, no, once. I did it when I launched the pre order of Mind Your Body. Back in September. But since then, I have not done that. And it is because usually, if I'm recording a podcast and an interview, I'll record it on video. And if I recorded a solo, I just do it on my own audio. The reason I'm going through this and even telling you this at the top of the episode is that today is a solo episode, just me. And as of last week, when Lisa and I were in New York City launching Mind Your Body, we also launched a new tier of membership for our communities. It is a membership where you, for a low cost, get exclusive content that people have been asking me for years. And one of the things that people have been asking me for forever is they want to see videos of the podcast. They want to see videos of my guests. They want to see me. They want to see the interaction. They want something to watch. And I totally get it. And, however long it takes somebody to get their shit together, with Lisa's partnership and this point in my life, I've gotten my shit together. So we launched a new tier of membership. And you can go to NicoleSachs.com and click on the membership tab, and you'll see all three membership offerings. For this tier, you will get all the exclusive content that we've been promising. And one of them is a video of me doing this podcast every week, which means that I am going to be recording myself. So, first of all, you're welcome because I had to put on makeup today. Like, I know that I could show up with literally no makeup, but that's a little humiliating at 52. So, I put on a little makeup. You'll be seeing me in the video. And in addition to this gallant effort, there's also going to be other great stuff in this membership in terms of exclusive content. There will be a live webinar every month that you will be able to sign into and watch, and the recording will also be available. Different experts, different subject matter will always be thinking about what you guys are asking for, new and different, and deep dives into things. Sometimes it'll be Lisa and me, sometimes it'll be me alone, sometimes it'll be a guest, but it will always be new content, always just for the membership. You can also sign up to get weekly texts from me to keep you on your JournalSpeak practice. And we are going to add a new aspect of it that is going to come soon called Living the Work, which is going to be community members participating in submitting their lives, their moments, their journal speak shares, and being able to be together in this community. So a lot is happening, but for now, go to NicoleSachs.com, click on the membership tab, and you'll see the way to be watching this video right now. And as you can hear, I'm going to get used to it, but it's definitely a little harder to just speak into the void when you're being also videoed. So bear with me, my friends. You are my people. You are my inner circle and my core. And you guys, we launched Mind Your Body last week. And since I'm on a video, I will hold a copy of my precious new book. And when I say precious, it is like having a baby. It is like having another baby out there in the world. And I am just really loving everything you guys are telling me about how this book is affecting your life. I'm loving watching the reviews roll in on Amazon. Thank you guys. Thank you for embracing this baby that was definitely many years in the birthing. And I'm just feeling really great. If you didn't see last week, I was on the Today Show. If you want to see that, Google Nicole Sachs Today Show and it will come up. I was definitely in a panic, but I did it, and I was very proud that it came out of me somehow. I think I mentioned this last week in the intro to my Elizabeth Endress podcast. But anyway, the book launch is going strong. What I will tell you guys at the top of this pod is what it reminds me of. as I was in New York with my team from Penguin Random House, with Lisa at the 92nd Street Y, with hundreds of you and hundreds more of you on Zoom. The concept of being together in a room really hit me in a place that I haven't felt in a long time, just how important it is to be with others doing this work. So if you want to be with us live, the one live retreat we have planned for this year thus far is at the Omega Institute, June 22nd to the 27th. So come and join us at Omega. We're planning it. It's starting to fill up. We have our experts coming in from around the world. We just got a DM on our membership community. Kimberly is coming from Australia. Kimberly, you win so far. Person that has come from the farthest corner of the globe. And I kind of think that's kind of the other side of the world. So you may hold that title for the rest of your life. But anyway, you guys, go to NicoleSachs.com and click on the retreats tab, or go to eomega.org and search my name. So much that is going to happen that week. It is a life-changing week. You do not leave the same person as you came. Okay. So today on the podcast, I want to talk about JournalSpeak in a way that has been really on my mind. So as you guys know, or as you may be learning, there are three facets of my work, like three legs of a stool: believe, do the work, and patience and kindness for yourself. And under the umbrella of believe is everything we do on this podcast, is all the brain science that is outlined in the first section of the book. It is coming into alignment that what I teach you, you already believe, and now you need to consciously let it sink in. Meaning, everyone knows a stressful day can cause a headache. Everyone knows that breaking up with a person who was your love can make you lose your appetite. Everyone knows that they've heard of someone or personally have broken out into hives when they were in a panic. We all believe that emotional stimuli can cause physical manifestations in our body. When you are moved and when you are sad and when something is really getting you, water falls out of your face. You cry. An emotional stimulus causing a physical reaction, tears coming out of your body. We know there's a mind-body connection. Nobody disagrees. But when things become chronic, we throw all of that out the window. So, reminding you that belief is essential for healing in this process, because without belief, it is very hard to bring your nervous system into the level of rest and repair you need to do this work. If you don't believe, and if you're constantly worried that something is physically wrong with you that needs a physical solution, doing the work can help you, but it's like spinning your wheels. And I want everything for you. I want everything for you. So, then the second leg of the stool is do the work. Well, what do we mean by that? Well, the core foundation of the work that I teach is a JournalSpeak practice. Now, you guys have been around. If you haven't, please avail yourself of the hundreds of episodes of this podcast when we talk about JournalSpeak. But in short, JournalSpeak is an expressive writing technique that we teach that allows you to get into this overflowing emotional reservoir and dump it out, ladle it out one day at a time. When the reservoir is no longer at maximum capacity, triggering your nervous system into fight or flight because it perceives your repressed emotional world as a greater predator than your physical pain, then you are no longer in pain. The pain signals stop firing. So our job here together is to lower the reservoir in the space of belief, and of course, with patience and kindness for ourselves. That's what we're doing here at the Cure for Chronic Pain. So as I move through my day and my life with JournalSpeak and you and this work always on my mind, sometimes things occur to me, and a lot of times it has to do with my own practice. So for example, I am doing my JournalSpeak and I'm starting to do something that like I always do, a tactic or a way in. And I think to myself, I should take this to the podcast. I should take this to the place where I can be most helpful to people. So that's what today is for. Today, essentially, what I want to do is take my brain and dump it out into yours. Give you the best practices that are helping me, that have helped me over the years bring myself to a place where I personally know that I'm getting to the stuff I need to get to. Now, here's one caveat, and working and being with Lisa has really helped me understand this. The way I do journal speak is not the way everyone does journal speak, and it is not the only way to do journal speak. When I say that, what I mean is that I really like to be 5 years old. It is, for me, it's a great portal into what shifts my symptoms, in what cracks open my understanding of what I need to get to move into new realms of relationships or new realms of relationship with myself. And so I'm not saying that there's not a place for that for everyone, but I know that being with Lisa and seeing the way she journal speaks, it's not always about that kind of raw, ranty voice. She really goes into these beautiful descriptions of, let's say, childhood events or parts of her personality. She's so honest. She's so, oh God, it's just it's a place that really lands for me when she decides to share it with me, which of course each of us is in control of whether we want to share pieces of our journal speak with people we love or therapists, etc. But what I'm going to focus on today is the ranty shit that you will definitely throw out. So, as you know, my general prescription for journal speak is a 20-minute verbal dump from the heart and the mind right out of your fingers, whether you're writing on paper or typing on a computer, get it out. And then I tell you to delete it, because I want you to feel totally safe saying absolutely everything. So today is a day where we're going to talk about this, and you're going to see why in this situation deleting it is essential. The first reason deleting it is essential is keeping you safe. You know, you're going to have to write things that you don't want anyone to ever read. Honestly, maybe not even you ever again, because of the things you need to say and because it would be 100% misunderstood by anyone reading it, because it doesn't even matter if they're the most emotionally evolved person in the world. No one should read this kind of rant that we're talking about today. The most important reason why no one should read this rant is because it doesn't stay true. And what I want you to do is be very experimental. And so when I say it doesn't stay true, my, story that I share everywhere of my first ever journal speak, the first line of journal speak ever penned, as it was invented through my experience, was "I hate being a mother." And I had 2 kids, 1 and 3. And in many ways, motherhood was a real fit for me. So I wasn't saying I hate being a mother because I was one of those people who should never have had kids. I was saying I hate being a mother because it was this voice that was screaming to be heard. And clearly it was screaming through my back, that needed a place on the stage for a moment. And when I said I hate being a mother, and I sat there staring at those words on the page and shocked, quite frankly, because truly, motherhood was really suiting me in many ways, I started to see the portal that it was inviting me into, which was, there was a place in me that hated it, and it was unclear why, but the only way I was ever going to find out was walking through the door of it. And the door opened with the sentence, "I hate being a mother." And what ended up happening is it brought me through all the things that I felt I was failing at. And as it moved me through that, it brought me into a lot of blame. And blame is a really low vibration energy, in my opinion, but it doesn't matter. If you're in your journal speak and you need to blame, you must. It will scream out of your body, through your head, through your stomach, through your back, through your pelvis, through your skin, through your autoimmune flares, unless you give it a voice. Okay. So that brought me to my parents, who I had to go off on. And you know what? No matter how well-meaning your parents were, some weren't. If that voice is inside and it needs to go off, it goes off. So I was doing that. And then it turned toward a lot of self-loathing. And I think that people often resist self-loathing because they don't want to, quote, stay there or get stuck there. But that's not what we're doing here. We are in a science experiment on ourselves. We are in a rewiring of our nervous systems, and that requires bravery, and it requires you to be wherever you're at. There's an old social work mantra, start where the client is at. You have to be where you are at. So if you're with self-loathing, if that's happening, if that's a tree falling in your forest, you have to be there to hear that sound. And so I went off on, what's wrong with you? You're so weak. You're such a failure. All the voices that my father's language of my childhood still had in me. Okay, blah, 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 all of that. But the reason I'm telling you all of this again for the millionth is because when I finally arrived at the end of this just verbal diarrhea through my pen, what I came to was a realization I never would have gotten to. It would be like if you were in a magical land, if you were Alice that fell down the rabbit hole and found yourself after, hours of walking and adventures in a place you needed to be, and information you needed to have, but you wouldn't have gotten there unless you were brave enough to do all the things. And I got to this place where I realized something that in a million years I never would have known, which is when I was a little girl, I made a very quiet, private promise to myself, which was my life was unsatisfactory to me. I always wished I had siblings. We moved all the time. We had financial insecurity. I was scared a lot. My dad was scary. He was loud. He was unpredictable. So my nervous system was always dysregulated. I was an insomniac. I was constipated. Like I had all the vestiges of the shit that was happening to me. And when I was about maybe 11, 12, little, I made this little promise to myself is one day you are going to be in charge. One day you're going to be a grown-up like all these grown-ups. But instead of these people that are making these decisions that are not your decisions, you will get to make your own decisions. And when you do, you are going to make perfect decisions. You're going to meet the perfect partner. You're going to have the perfect children. You are going to be Mother Earth. You're going to be pregnant. You're going to love it. I used to envision myself pregnant. I used to envision the kind of dresses I would wear, given what I had seen on TV, like silly, but not silly, very reasonable and sort of adorable childhood stuff. But I had enough pain in me and I had enough need in me that it became not just a childhood fantasy. It became an imperative. It became a panic. I must do this for myself or I will never heal the wounds of my 11-year-old me. Now, anyone who has a child or even is close to someone who has a child knows that a toddler is not going to heal the wounds of your childhood. A toddler is a toddler, your toddler, your beautiful toddler, but still not there to take care of your emotions and certainly not there to heal your past. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that the reason I thought I was failing as a parent is because my parenting wasn't healing the wounds of my childhood pain. I mean, my goodness, it's so adorable and laughable and cute and sad and all the things it is, but it was never going to happen. And I did not know that I even needed or wanted it to happen. So what you guys need to understand is through that journal speak, through that portal, I got to that and I go, oh, that's why I thought I hated being a mother. I love my babies. Look at my babies. All of a sudden, I'm bursting with love for these children and the whole process of parenting them because it was so misguided. The emotion was real, but it wasn't about what I thought it was. And the journal speak was what got me there. Now, I woke up the next morning and my back pain was 80% gone, never to return. This is not something that I'm saying because I think it should happen to you or it will happen to you. Everyone has a different journey. What I'm saying is I knew I was on to something. I was about to create something that was going to make quite a difference in this world, I hope. And so that's what was happening for me. And then I journal spoke about everything. I was just like, F it to the max. I'm going to go hard on all these things in my life. I eliminated my chronic pain entirely. I have the same MRI. I have the same diagnosis on film, degenerative spondylolisthesis. Even though I was told I would never have children or exercise or travel, I have traveled the world. I have 3 children. I exercised till the day they were born. I am a walking around, vibrant success story for this work. So now we get to you. It took us 20 minutes, but we're getting to you. and I live in service of you. Haha, just kidding, but not really. Okay, so what I'm saying here about your journal speak is I want you to be freaking bold and I want you to experiment with things. So, one of the things I do in my journal speak is I say the extreme, and it could even be the extreme opposite of what I consciously want to play with it because I am not interested in fucking with myself. I don't want to mess with my head, but I also know that there are many truths on the way to what you need to discover to release your pain that can be gotten through the door of experimentation with the whole range of how you might feel about a situation. So let's take an easy one for example, because I'm pretty clear on it. I have two children that are either one, my oldest is graduated from college and my middle guy is in college. I have one baby left in the house. She is 17. She's a junior and she's a delight. I mean, I love living with her. I love her, but she's also a 17-year-old girl who can be, a bitch to me and she doesn't even mean it. And we have a very healthy, very normal relationship, meaning I'm not trying to paint it with rose colored glasses, nor am I trying to say she's a real pain in the ass and I can't wait to get rid of her. Truly, we have like a super loving, healthy, normal mother daughter relationship with a 17-year-old. The reason I'm laying it out like this is because it's also a long road for me. I have been parenting 24 hours a day because you know how parenting is. No matter what you're doing, it's always with you for now 22 and a half years. And with a 17-year-old with a junior in high school, I'm actually looking an empty nest. For all these years, I have been a parent first. I've been a lot of other things, but I've been a parent first. And even though you're always a parent, even when no kids are living in your house, it's different. I mean, it's different. I know because I have two out of the house. It's different when they don't live with you anymore. It's different when they move on to that next phase of their lives. And so I don't remember why I was journal speaking about this, but probably I was having some little bit of a symptom. Sometimes my symptom imperative is just insomnia. I'm less settled at night, but for whatever reason, I was on my journal speak and I was journal speaking about being an empty nester. And the reason that I'm talking to you about it is because I use it as an example with experimenting with extremes, because sometimes you need to experiment with extremes to just embody the moment and see the little nuances, the little pieces of gray in between the black and the white of how you feel about it. So the first extreme would be, and remember, guys, I swear a lot on this podcast, but only because words have power. And sometimes you have to use all your words. So I could say, I am so fucking sick of parenting. I am so sick of giving away everything to another person or people. I am ready. It is my turn. I have been good. I haven't been perfect, but I have been good enough. And now I cannot wait. Get her out of my house. It is going to be a celebration. Oh my God, I won't have to worry about anybody under my roof. I won't have to care when she gets home. I won't have to care if she did her homework. I won't have to clean up after her. Like, I just went there. And in going there, I felt such a deep pang of grief because within allowing myself not to feel any way other than this extreme toddler, like, get out of my face, everybody, leave me alone. I want my time. I want my energy. I want what's mine. That kind of very kicky energy. I was able to connect with the grief I will feel when she leaves, with the grief that is so complex, but also so beautiful that we experience when we look over an era of our lives that is coming to a close in some way, in some chapter. And oh my God, it was so much bigger than my desire to be alone. But it was necessary to take out all the noise, to reduce all the static by saying, I'm freaking done. Everyone leave me alone, to be able to get into that place. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, Let's say you're having issues with your spouse or your partner or even your boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever you feel committed to and connected to. They're not issues that are bad enough to break up, but they're like annoying you, and you know that part of your pain in whatever way it's manifesting is your inability to have a voice. You're like you're stuck in your needing to suppress that authentic communication. So I invite you to say, I'm done. I'm leaving. I can't fucking deal with you for one more second when you say this, when you say that, when you criticize me, when it's so clear that it's the damage from your own upbringing and you're putting it on me. I'm sick of dealing with this about you, that about you, habits, behaviors, truths, unwillingness to change, whatever. I'm freaking done. I'm done with you, and this is why. Just be brave enough, because people are scared to do that because they're like, but then what if I have to break up? And I'm like, if breaking up is coming for you, you'll find your way there, because your body will help you and your heart will help you and your therapist will help you and your best friend will help you. But like, being with the raw feelings will not make you break up with someone, will not make you do anything. In fact, it is absolutely counterintuitive. It's the opposite. It will free you to at least have the full range of your power of understanding who you are, what you are, how you are, why you are. And so I invite you to do that. It's so freeing, because then you can say, wait a second, I love him though. And then in the I love him though, then I invite you to let the pendulum swing and say, I love it when he does this, 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 and this. And then you might be able to come back to center for a moment and say, yeah, but even when I love it when he gives me this that I need, it still really hurts me that he can't listen or have a conversation about this. All right. So now we've landed on this, whatever this is. That's a place where you have power. That's a place where you have power for change, because now you've pushed away all the cobwebs of an extreme, which is he's perfect for me, I can't live without him, and I'm breaking up with him, I'm freaking done. And now you're in the I really appreciate this, but this thing, it's actually really not okay with me. And there you have power for a conversation. Now, let's say you don't feel ready to have that conversation. I promise you, it will still affect your pain. You are lowering the reservoir. You're getting it out. You're getting it out left, right, and center. And maybe this is a conversation you're going to work towards. So you're going to bring it to your JournalSpeak every day for however long. It doesn't matter. You will get where you need to go if you are not afraid of opening the doors. We are so in the jails of our own making. It's not our fault, but it is our responsibility to take a look at it. Because if you can just say, I don't know if I'm going to do what needs to be done in that room, but I know if I don't open the door and look into that room, I will have no idea what needs to be done. So I'll have no idea if it's too challenging or not, and I'll never move. There is nothing more irritating to the nervous system than stasis when you want something more. If you are in a state of stasis, meaning nothing is changing, you're just going around in circles, you're not really exerting any of your power, maybe you don't even know where your power lies, but in your heart, you're wishing for life to be richer, fuller, better, different, more self-expressed, more full of joy, more full of presence. Your nervous system sees this as danger, danger, danger. The alarm bell is ringing, and it rings through your migraines. It rings through your pelvic pain. It rings through your stomach. It rings through your back, your neck, your shoulder, your knee, your hip. And then, because you are a human being and you are forgiven, you follow the alarm. It's so loud, it gets your attention. Now you're on your third specialist or your fourth elimination diet or your fifth supplement. And guys, it is a recipe for forever stuck. So what I want for you and what I'm doing with you today as I look into this camera and I smile and my hands are together in a prayer stance, which is Give yourself the gift of moving out of that cycle by being brave in your journal speak and exploring. Even if you're like, but I don't want to break up with him. I don't care. There is a part of you. There is a little unheard, unseen part of you that is freaking done with someone not respecting X, Y, and Z. Just like there was a part of me that hated being a mother, but not because of anything even to do with my kids. It was much, much, much more, if not all, to do with my unmet needs of childhood and the little promise I had made to myself that I'd completely, I wouldn't say I'd forgotten, but I just didn't have the clear channel, the words, and the connection to what it really was. And JournalSpeak did that for me. And it eliminated my pain. Never to return, my loves, never to return. I have pain all the time, moments, a day here and there, but I have never had chronic pain because chronic pain requires the brain and the nervous system to feel that the predator is not going anywhere, right? Like acute pain. Yeah, we have acute pain. You drop a hammer on your foot, you break a nail too low and like your finger is throbbing. You do something big like break an arm or hit your head. Like there is human pain, but human pain is finite. It has a agreed upon healing time based on the medical community, and it should go. Exposure to mold, a concussion, Lyme's disease, stomach issues that are endless, or stomach issues that you thought began with a virus or whatever, these things that when they become chronic, it's because the nervous system has taken the baton and has created a neural pathway that is you're stuck in. Long COVID symptoms that continue regardless of your changes in your diet, your lifestyle, how long you've been resting. These are chronic symptoms that you do not need to live with. So here we are, living in the solution. It will always be my favorite place to live. And I'm telling you guys, stick with me. You don't know how well you can be. You have so much more power than you realized to affect your physical and emotional health. So I'm excited to be here for my first solo video for this new membership. If you'd like to join us, just go to NicoleSachs.com, click on the membership tab. And by the way, just so you know, if you join the Healing with Nicole Circle, which is our highest tier of membership, you get the middle membership for free. So the middle membership is $9.99 a month. All of this original content, all these videos, the webinar, the texts, and all the stuff that we will add that is exclusive, you will get it nowhere else, is going to be in this membership, Break Awake membership for $9.99. But if you get the membership where I work with you directly and we meet on Zoom twice a month, which is the Healing with Nicole, you get this membership for free too. So much to do, so much to work on. And if you come to Omega, you get a hug from me. And if you're a member of our Healing with Nicole Circle, not only do you get a hug from me at Omega, our group meets on our own as well there. So much. I love interacting with you. I love being with you. I love watching you heal. I love hearing from you. Please remember to go over to Amazon.com and review Mind Your Body once you've read it. I really appreciate it. It helps me spread the word all over the world. And please, if you're loving this podcast, just go to iTunes and rate and review it. It helps bring the podcast to everyone. All right. Signing off. I'll see you guys next week. This has been Nicole Sachs with the Cure for Chronic Pain podcast, and I'll see you then.